Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael? Oh, wow. Wow, you're bringing it back.
We made promises here on the podcast. For those of you not on the video podcast, I held up a book by the name of Outlive. We were going to have a book club. I think we still are. I've made some, but minimal progress on my book.
I thought that I was going to be able to listen to it on the long flights that I had over my vacation a few months ago. And then my daughter needed a lot of attention on the flights, so that didn't happen. And then I've prioritized other things like jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts on Amazon Prime as opposed to listening to Peter Attia. So I've made little incremental progress, but yeah, I haven't listened very much.
Let's get serious. Put it on 1.5x speed, and let's say in the next month, let's finish it and talk about it.
Let's definitely finish it and talk about it. I'm cool with that. I can't do the 1.5x speed. That would basically be like me listening in Chinese. I would not understand a single word of it. So comprehension goes out the window. I'll just do 1x speed. I'll do 0.5 speed, and then we'll finish it by the end of the month.
I'll hassle you. Would you like me to hassle you to finish it?
Yeah, dude. I love being hassled. I love it.
You really do. How are you?
Dude, I'm good.
You just did sprints?
I did upper body pull and then sprints.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Feeling good?
Yeah, man. I feel very good. I mean, my rib is still broken, so I haven't done jiu-jitsu in like 3 weeks now or so, which sucks. But I feel great from a strength perspective, conditioning perspective. It's been nice to have my mornings because usually jiu-jitsu is like get up, hang with family a little bit, then go to jiu-jitsu. So it's been nice to have a couple hours where I'm just home. Mm-hmm. My wife can go work out, and she could work out before, but now it's like the schedule is even more flexible since I'm home. So she can have a little bit more flexibility with when she works out. And baby's good. She's getting big, dude. She's well over 21 pounds, which is wild. 21 pounds at just over 9 months old. She's big.
That's like a solid lateral raise / potential rear delt fly. Like you could do some isolation exercises with her.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to allow you around my baby now, but I walk in the room, you're just doing goblet squats. You're like, oh yeah, this is just a real good hip opener.
Holding a baby with doing goblet squats is a very safe thing to do. You probably wouldn't want a lateral raise. Like,
yeah.
I don't think grabbing 10-month-olds by the scruff of their neck, that's probably not like an appropriate thing to do. Not probably.
What a turn. That might not be a good idea. I don't know. Is there research on it?
My nephew just hit 7 months, and I throw him in the air and catch him.
Yeah, I throw her in the air as well.
Yeah.
So my wife is always like, be careful.
Yeah. Overprotective dad. All right. We're going to read a couple emails because a couple of people wrote in telling us what their power breakfasts are. So we're giving shout outs.
Oh, let's go. I love it.
Tolly, shout out Tolly. Tolly says, my power breakfast is my biggest meal of the day, and I eat it after my workout mid-morning. Before the gym, I just do a shake. And Tolly's power breakfast is 2 eggs. Got to have eggs in a power breakfast. 2 eggs plus 2 egg whites, scrambled or over easy. 1 everything better bagel with cottage cheese, olives, pico or Israeli salad, and Nespresso.
Dude, that's an amazing breakfast. I like that.
Powerful.
I like that a lot. Very powerful.
We got another powerful breakfast from Alyssa here. Alyssa loves the podcast. Let me skim a little, get to the power breakfast. My favorite power breakfast is either overnight oats with Legion vanilla, almond milk, vanilla Greek yogurt, and mini chocolate chips. Pretty powerful. Or a smoothie bowl with frozen banana, frozen mixed berries, OJ, Legion vanilla, Greek yogurt, spinach, and topped with granola. Wow.
Jeez. That's a super powerful breakfast.
Micronutrients plus protein, Alyssa. You're dialed.
Dude, we should create a power breakfast brand. Like we should create ready-made meals called power meals.
I'm in. I'm probably not going to dedicate much time or effort to it, but I'm fully in.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Let's have someone run it.
Yeah. If someone wants to run this from the ground up and take over every aspect of the business and just have Mike and I own it without any work involvement, that would be ideal.
Well, hang on. We'll give a third equity. We'll go a third.
Yep. 1/3. Yep. 33. Yep.
And
See
we'll
that math?
fund.
Yeah, we'll fund, and then we'll be there to give insight. But if someone wants to go all in on power breakfast, you know what's funny is I always judge the beginning of something if it could be successful based on the initial response. And I got a ton of messages about power breakfast. There was something about that. Yeah. So I mean, if we make what a name for like a meal company too, like Power Meals, Power Breakfast.
Are we?
Even power bars. They have power bars,
which are super overrated.
Yeah,
at least the iteration that I would eat in high school that just didn't taste good and were high carb.
Yeah. They were great for endurance, not for strength.
Sure.
That's for most of the supplements. Most of the supplements when we were like in high school and stuff at that point in time had been studied more on endurance as opposed to strength. It's only more in the last 10 years or so that a lot of studies have been more on strength and muscle growth. So most of the supplements were more towards endurance at that time.
Correct. Alyssa also said, I do enjoy all content, but especially the fitness and nutrition content, because we asked what people like to hear about. I really like when you guys talk about your current goals, training, nutrition, etc.
Amazing feedback. Thank you so much.
That's all we're going to read through right now. We're going to save a few more emails. I got a few more emails that we'll do in the next podcast that we're filming.
Oh, never guess who just texted me. Danny Miranda. I need to give him a call.
Oh, man.
I've missed his last 3 texts. I'm sorry, Danny, because I'm pretty sure Danny listens to this. So, Danny, after this, I'm going to give you a call.
Danny's the man. What should we talk about?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I put up a question box during the last time we did the personal trainer podcast. I put up a question box. Let's check that out.
Beautiful.
We've done 3 total stories ever on that page.
Yeah. That's a solid amount of content.
The first one is from Damon. I'm going to mispronounce the name. Damon, huge shouts because I see you're always watching the content. Much appreciated. His first question is, give us a powerful dinner meal.
Damon, I really starting us out strong here on this podcast. I have so many power dinner meals locked and loaded and ready to go.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do one.
Salmon, asparagus, and white rice is a power dinner.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a lean and mean power dinner.
What do you like about it, aside from the taste?
I like the taste. I like the macronutrient profile. I like, I've really started, you actually made me slightly paranoid about GI cancers. And so I've been more focused on, over the last 6 to 18 months, I've slowly reduced deli meat consumption, processed meat in general consumption, like sausages. I'm not housing hot dogs or bologna on a regular basis, right? The fat to protein.
Big bologna guy.
This guy loves spam. But also just red meat. And so I've upped my fish game. And so that's one of the reasons I like this meal. Asparagus is delicious. I don't know what you call that cooking method. Broiling, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. In the
olive
oven.
Oil, salt and pepper. And
comes out crisp. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And white rice is delicious. And if you don't feel like, having a rice cooker or going through the process of cooking it, those Uncle Ben's, they make a coconut. I mean, the jasmine rice is very good. It's tasty and I digest it very well. I don't digest brown rice amazing, but there's a coconut jasmine that has a little bit more fat.
Wow. But that sounds amazing.
And it's really good. It's like 9 protein, 7 fat, 84 carb for a a packet.
Dude, coconut jasmine sounds incredible. I need to try that.
90 seconds in the microwave. It's ready to go.
All right, I'm going to order that today.
Give us a power dinner, Jordan.
Dude, I'm a big salmon guy, and there are so many different ways that I like to have it prepared. But you take salmon, air fry it, and I'm just reiterating like what my wife tells me because she does all the cooking and she's incredible at it. One of my favorite meals that she has done, she makes a big Caesar salad, and then she'll air fry salmon and put the air fried salmon on top of the Caesar salad, and it's so good. And then you can either just have it off the top or you can mix the salmon into the salad, which I really like. That's one good option. Another one is air fried salmon, big thing of lentils, some avocado. Like that's really good for me. I'd say those are two of my favorites right now. Obviously, like I don't have a ton of red meat. I'll probably have red meat between every 7 to 10 days. I like a nice fillet with some either with lentils or with rice or with maybe a sweet potato. Big fan of that as well. So
that's a powerful dinner.
Power meals, man. We got to have power meals. I think this could be big.
Hang on. Are we selling like pre-made meals? Is that the concept here?
Could be. I'm open to anything.
While we're on the subject, the taco mac and cheese from Counter was
so good.
Insane.
So good.
Do you want to know my initial response when I opened it?
After you tasted it or before you tasted it?
Before.
You were probably like, ugh.
I was like, there's absolutely no way there's 31 grams of protein in this because it didn't look like very much ground beef. And then I literally looked up the recipe, and the sauce is a cottage cheese base.
Oh, that's so smart.
I know.
It's a thick, creamy sauce. Yeah, it's super good. 31
protein, 30 carb, 10 fat. By the way, this is Counter. This is a company that Jordan and I invested in. And so this is accidentally like the first time I've ever plugged anything, full disclosure, but it was so much better than I expected it to be. And this is the first product they rolled out to like 400 Sam's Clubs across the US. So we'll see how it does.
What's it called?
The taco mac and cheese.
So is it taco mac and cheese by Counter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like this. So we invested very small amounts of money into this company, and we have essentially no say in what they do. It's just they were looking for small investments. And I liked it because the whole concept is being able to give high protein options at a reasonable caloric intake in the frozen food section. And for a lot of people who struggle or who don't have the time to prepare foods or might not have access to those types of foods, to be able to have access to high protein frozen meals that are like high quality ingredients, this is the first I've ever seen anything like it. So I was blown away with how good it is. It's got a little spicy kick at the end, which I wasn't expecting either, which is like a taco mac and cheese with a little spicy hint. I liked it a lot.
It's interesting. My wife said that too. And I generally don't like spicy food, and I didn't find it spicy.
No, it wasn't spicy. It wasn't like burning my mouth, but like I felt it. I felt some heat. Yeah. It was very good. All right. Damon asked the first 4 questions. So I'm the next one is, what do you guys think about politics? Do you want to go into politics?
No, not at all. But I'm halfway through listening to RFK on Rogan, and I'm a big fan.
Big fan? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
excited to listen to it. I'm very excited to listen to it.
Of him. Like the first hour of the episode is about vaccines. But I'm a fan of what I've heard from him and his willingness to have seemingly authentic conversations about topics that most politicians just either like glaze over, ignore, he seems more real than the average person in Washington.
Dude, that's the worst. When politicians are asked a question and then they just don't even answer it.
You mean every time for like
it's
99%?
The worst.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, I'm like, am I the only one seeing this? Because I just don't get it. How people can watch who their favorite politician is, get up, be asked a question, and then literally not answer it and act as though they did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's an interesting world. All right.
Yeah.
Damon asked the next question. What are Mike's top 4 movies?
I like that we're speed rounding this. I'm going to give the first 4 off the top of my head. Gladiator.
I know what the next one is.
What?
Braveheart.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes. Let's go.
Very good, Jordan. Gladiator, Braveheart, Rounders like has to sneak its way in there, which I just did a rewatch on. Yeah.
It's that good?
It's the movie that got me. I mean, it's a 7.3 on IMDb. Like, but it has a cult following. It has a loaded cast. It got me into poker. It's an iconic movie, and it has that Jewish professor I was telling you about last night. I never like fully comprehended the meaning of a couple of his scenes because I first watched it. It came out in 97. I think I first watched it when I was 12 years old. And I didn't comprehend the meaning of those scenes until the last couple of years.
That's how Mike ropes me into trying to do anything. Like if there's like something Jewish, he'll be like, there's a Jewish guy in there.
That's funny. That's funny, but I don't think it's true. If you can give a second example of a time I've done that other than Rounders, I'll let that stand.
I've only got one example. Okay, it's the one from yesterday with Rounders. Yeah, that's it.
I said it last night because the professor's scenes stood out to me more than they ever had. And my 4th movie.
No, that was your 3rd. Yeah.
I'm gonna right now at this exact time, I'm going to give it to It's a Wonderful Life.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
You probably haven't. I mean, you're just not that big a movie guy, and it's in black and white.
All right. 4th question from Damon.
I love that we're just ripping like one take top to bottom, giving Damon all 4 slots.
Dude, I like it. I mean, he asked every question, and there aren't like tons, so we're just gonna go. We're gonna go through a bunch of them. All right. Damon said, "I have a client who isn't making a lot of progress because he drinks a lot of alcohol weekly. Any tips?"
When I am first onboarding a client, I have one of the questions in my assessment is how many drinks do you have per week? And like what type of drinks do you enjoy or something along those lines? And for someone who drinks a lot, because you'll have people who drink a bottle of wine every single night. You'll have people who, have 3 or 4 old fashions every single night. I will ask them, okay, like I'm definitely not going to make you stop drinking because you enjoy drinking and we don't have to stop drinking to make progress. But how many drinks a week do you think is a reasonable amount? And do you want to set as kind of your target for each week? And so that's the place I'll start rather than me being like, okay, you can only have this many drinks. Or if I give a range, I'll ask like, do you feel like that's reasonable? Do you like, would you want it to be higher? Would you want it to be lower? But I'll let the client decide, motivational interviewing and give them a target. Let them pick their target.
I like that. I like that motivational interviewing. You give them the opportunity. That's a really good strategy. It works very well. And we actually got a question about client intake form questions that we can talk about after this. But I don't ask that in my client intake form. It's something that I do often bring up within the first couple weeks of coaching. I just try and keep the client intake form as brief as possible. So the one I remember, I had one client, and oftentimes like when you're coaching, you learn so much as a coach, like as you're coaching. And I had one client who completely changed my perspective on this, and because I've been such a big moderation guy throughout my career, I've always been very hesitant to tell someone just stop something or like just do this or don't do this. So I had one client, it was the first client that I had that was really struggling with this exact problem. She was drinking a lot, and she made it very clear from when we first started working together that she was drinking a lot. She was young, she was in her early 20s, and she was not willing to stop drinking, period. And she was drinking a lot. And
how much?
This was like between like 15 to 20 plus drinks a week, like a lot. And I was like, at first I was like, okay, cool. I mean, as long as you hit your calories, then, because her goal, she wanted to lose fat. I was like, as long as you hit your calories, but it's going to be very difficult with the amount of drinks that you're having every week. Like, this is a lot. So we went for about 3 months. And by the end of 3 months, she had made zero progress. And we had a conversation. I was like, well, why do you think? And she was like, I don't know. I think the only thing could potentially be the drinking. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit. Obviously, it's the drinking. And I said, okay, here's the deal. I said, the reality is, if you can't stop drinking for 30 days, that means you have a problem, right? Like if you, I'm not saying you have to give it up forever, but just for 30 days, if you can't not drink for 30 days, there's a deeper problem that you need to see a specialist about, because this is outside of my scope. And I was like, do you agree with that? And she was like, yeah, 100%. I was like, okay, cool. Let's take 30 days, no drinks. You're going to do a 30-day no alcohol challenge. I was like, after 30 days, go back to doing what you're doing. But again, if you can't go 30 days, no drinks, there's a real problem here. And she was like, you're right. I agree. I'll do a 30-day challenge, no alcohol. In that month, she made more progress than she had in the first 3 months, because in the first 3 months, she made zero progress. So after those 30 days, or really it was after like the first couple of weeks when she started to make amazing progress, she was like, wow, okay, I definitely don't want to be drinking as much. After the 30 days, she started to drink again, but instead of 15 to 20, it was like 2 to 8 drinks per week. And she was able to do that while continuing to make progress. And so this was a huge learning opportunity for me to realize, like, listen, I tend to start with the more moderation approach, but if it's just not working, giving them a challenge and an opportunity to be like, listen, just don't do it for 30 days. The reality is, if you can't stop doing anything for 30 days, there's probably a deeper problem there. And aside from eating or drinking water, but like really any habit that you have, if you can't stop it for 30 days, then there's a deeper rooted issue that you need to discuss with a therapist or something. So I used that as an opportunity to essentially allow her to see progress. And once she saw progress, she became more motivated to not be drinking as much. So that's probably my best advice that I can give on that front.
I love it. I love the challenge idea. I like the advice overall. I don't think I could go 30 days without taking a step.
Yeah, let's
just
that would not be good. You'd lose a lot of muscle and bone density just sitting there.
Dude, and just like, I think there'd be other bad things that happen from lack of getting your heart rate up and like circulatory issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Blood clots. Yeah, real problem. Okay. So, Coach Caruthers. Oh, Corey Caruthers.
Let's go, Corey.
Fitness question. How to train legs for power and mobility. Strength and size feels good. Thank you. Okay, so number one, to have like strength and size feel good. That's amazing. I love that. So now we're talking about increasing power development and mobility, which are two very separate things. These are not like strength and size often they coincide. There's like a Venn diagram where there's a lot of similarities, and training for one will often improve the other. They're not the same, but there's a lot of similarities. Power, let's define power. Power is essentially how quickly you can display your strength. There's a speed component there. When it's just strength, there's no speed component. It's just how much can you lift is essentially what strength is. Power is how quickly can you lift it, right? So the amount of time it takes to generate that equal amount of force. And so if you have one lifter who can deadlift 500 pounds, but it takes him 10 seconds, and you have another lifter who can deadlift 500 pounds, but it takes him 4 seconds, that lifter has way more power. And what you can do is you can actually start to use this, and this is not for Gen Pop, this is more for higher level athletes. You can start to use this as an opportunity to say, well, what does this athlete need? If your athlete has a lot of strength, but can't generate it very quickly, then odds are maybe working on power is a really good idea. If you have an athlete who is very, very quick, but can't deadlift their body weight, well, then they need to stop doing speed work and focus more on strength. So you can, and it depends on the athlete and the demands of their sport and demands of the position of their sport. If it is more of a team sport and positional sport, what you have to work on. So for power, it's actually very simple, and you don't need a lot. I would say number one, when you're training for power, it has to be. Not going to say has to. It should usually be at the beginning of your training session. You shouldn't save it for the end. You don't want to train speed when you're fatigued. You don't want to train quick explosive movements when you're already tired. So building power for your lower body, something as simple as a squat jump, simple as a kettlebell swing, simple as a snatch, as a push press, a clean, a jerk, broad jumps are one of my all-time favorites. Any type of jumping or explosive movement is going to help build power. In terms of how you program it, that's a whole separate conversation for a separate podcast. But generally speaking, more sets and fewer reps. I would rather see someone do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sets of 1, 2, or 3 reps than do 3 sets of 10 reps. And there are many reasons for this, but generally speaking, if you're doing 10 reps in a set, by the 10th rep, like you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be tired, you're going to be losing the ability to display that force quickly. I would rather you do 10 sets of 2 because each set you're at your best. You're not fatiguing yourself. So even something like 8 sets of 4 kettlebell swings, very, very heavy, is a really great strategy to build power. 5 sets of 3 broad jumps is a really great set and rep scheme for broad jumps. For kettlebell snatches, like 5 sets of 5 is a really great option per side. So generally more reps, fewer reps per set. In terms of mobility, mobility is a tough one, especially to discuss without visuals. You know what? If I'm going to I think my best recommendation for improving mobility, I would say go to Hunter Fitness. Hunter Fitness, he's amazing. I've been friendly with him for many, many years. If you look him up on Instagram, Hunter Fitness. I'm actually planning on signing up for his membership program. Just because I want to learn from him.
Watch 1 or 2 of his videos and you'll know you're on the mobility page. That's all.
Yeah. And not only mobility, but his ability to control his mobility, to control the range. It's not like he just has the range. It's that he can control it without needing to put himself in that position. It's pretty wild. And it's a science. So I would say go to Hunter Fitness and look at his mobility stuff. And I'm going to sign up for his membership very soon. So yeah, I would say go there. That's my recommendation for that.
I think he's unbelievably impressive. That's for sure. I think people underestimate for someone who's not mobile. And Corey, I don't know if this question specifically for you or if it was for just general knowledge and to apply to clients, but generally speaking, for someone who's not mobile, taking like lower body compound movements through a full range is going to improve your mobility over time.
Yep.
Period. End of story. And so how much mobility do you want or are you seeking is a question I would ask before you start thinking about how to program for that goal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good point.
And Jordan wants all of the mobility so that he can get someone in his guard and frickin' have his leg on their upper back and, push the head down.
Dude, you're just very well versed in the
jiu-jitsu. I remember a couple
world.
things from before I retired from jiu-jitsu. Tell me, Jordan, what's happening on the social media streets? What are the big topics? We don't need to talk about weight loss injections since we've hit that, unless there's anything new there. What are you seeing? Body positivity? Are you seeing carnivore? Are you seeing water fasting? What are you seeing? Are people still doing compound moves? Did they stop? Line of pull, isometrics? Tell me what you're seeing and we can discuss. Glycogen, is that still a thing?
Is that still? I mean, I'm trying to think about trends I've seen in the fitness space.
Neck training? Are people training their necks directly out there on the street?
No one's training their neck. I mean, no one in our space. I bet if I was more in the football space, we'd see more American football players training their neck because it's such a huge way to reduce the risk of concussions. And also obviously neck and spinal injuries. MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters are obviously training their neck, but Gen Pop is not. What do you think? Do you think Gen Pop should be training their neck?
I don't think it's something you put in like a beginner's program. Obviously, there's bigger fish to fry first out of the gate when you're trying to establish a strength base and when you're trying to learn proper technique on a variety of movements. We're not going to dive into isolation, neck flexion, extension, iron neck type stuff. However, at some point, I think it's a really good idea. I think the variety that it brings can be psychologically intriguing and fun for dudes, especially. If you've ever seen those photos of, and this is mostly for men because I'm going to stereotype here and I'm going to say visually men prefer a thicker neck compared to women don't prefer a thicker neck.
You mean on themselves?
Correct.
Yeah. Not like, yeah.
Oh, not in what they're attracted to, Jordan. Yes, on themselves. Thought that was obvious. Have you seen the pictures of it'll have a random dude and then it will Photoshop his neck to be like a pencil neck and then it'll Photoshop his neck to be like that giant football player neck and they'll have all three pictures next to each other?
No.
It's very interesting. If we can flash that on the screen, that would be awesome. But it's crazy how much it changes the aesthetics of the person. Like their facial structure is all exactly the same, but based on the size of their neck, they look different.
Like more imposing, less imposing,
I don't even think. Sure, probably, yes, but I'm just going to say different and let anyone look at it and make your own assessment. The strength benefits in day-to-day life, the anti-injury benefits, I don't even want to say injury, the anti tweak benefits, for me specifically have been huge. There'll just be random times where, I don't know, if I'm like leaning over the bed to grab something and like my wife grabs onto me, I distinctly remember at points in the past when I had like tweaked my neck, been like, don't grab my head, my neck hurts. Whereas now I can just like I can carry a human with my neck at this point, Jordan. I don't think you understand where my weighted neck extensions are. Next time we're in Dallas, we'll really do something with it. Maybe we'll make content around it. That might be
I'm just trying to imagine the situation where like your wife is like grabbing your head and you're like, don't grab.
Well, giving me a hug.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like leaning over. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. She's like reaching up. Okay. And then you didn't have like the strength to handle that. And so then you tweaked your neck.
I always had the strength. But I may have had a slight neck tweak. Whereas now I don't even like my isometric neck extension. I don't even want to put a number on it.
Dude, the thing I love about the iron neck is how much I feel it improves my posture. Like I see an immediate improvement of when I'm even just doing like simple iron neck exercises, rotation side to side, immediate postural improvements. And I feel the top of my erectors, like going straight down from the bottom of my skull, dude, lit up, just absolutely lit up. So I mean, from a postural perspective, we could do all the dumbbell rows we want, all the lat pull downs we want, all the chest supported rows, all that stuff. But in terms of like dealing with tech neck with like that super forward head posture, I really don't think there's a better option than the iron neck, and we're not getting paid to say that.
I've noticed it. See, I don't even think the thing I like about the iron neck is the loaded rotations, which you want to talk about improving mobility and doing it under load. Like from the beginning of an iron neck session to the end of a session, doing loaded rotations, my side to side mobility improves massively. The thing that I think, and that it does help posture, what I think helped my forward head position the most, and I've noticed it in pictures, is weighted neck extensions. Just lying on a bench, neck hanging off, literally starting body weight or starting with a 5-pound plate on the back of your head, 15 reps minimum, and 3 sets a week. Like not even more
So
than that.
you're
in
lying
terms of volume.
prone. You're lying prone with a 5-pound weight on the back of your head. You're supporting it with your hands and
Correct.
just 15 to 20 reps. Yeah.
Yep. And then adding weight over time and not getting anywhere close to failure. But what that has done for my forward head position in a pretty short amount of time is mind-boggling.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. We should make neck training the next big thing.
I agree. And you especially.
Me especially.
Well, it's more relevant for you.
Just because of jujitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a huge important component of it for any type of combat athlete, and also really any type of athlete in which there's collisions. You know who else actually needs it? Race car drivers. Race car drivers need neck training like just as much as any combat athlete. The G forces that they have on them as they're going around, and because it's the same exact direction every single time, they actually develop severe imbalances between the strength on one side of the neck and the other, because they're just going, it's the same direction every single time. They don't change directions. So neck training for them is super important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, neck is the glutes of the upper body, you know?
Tweet that.
The neck is the glutes of the upper body.
What else are you seeing on the streets?
The mean streets of Instagram.
Yeah.
Um,
Are people lifting? People lifting out there?
Oh, dude, more people are lifting than ever.
Coaches? Are coaches lifting?
Dude, I think more coaches need to lift.
I know coaches in the mentorship are lifting, but I'm wondering about all the other coaches out there.
Yeah, coaches in the mentorship practice what they preach. They go hard. They go really hard. I like it. If they're not in the mentorship, they're probably not going that hard.
They still might lift. We don't know.
They might.
We don't know. They might not, but they might.
But as soon as a coach joins the mentorship, their own training gets infinitely better. Not because of anything we provide. We just provide.
It's osmosis.
Yeah. Just like you're surrounded by coaches who are dominating. So if there was someone who wanted to join the mentorship, they would just go to the link in the show notes and join and watch your own training skyrocket and your own business. But anyway, that's aside from the point. What else? Yeah, dude, people are lifting. People are getting their steps in. People. Oh, you know what? I was telling you, I was doing some zone 2 the other day. You were on the phone. Kid next to me he was getting his steps in, like jacked. This jacked kid next to me. I've never seen him before. He's getting his steps in, and he's on his phone and just banging out client voice memos. And he's doing such a good job. He's like, I'm so impressed with you. I'm so proud of you. You've done this and this and this. We can absolutely work on this. He's doing the compliment sandwich super well. And after, in between one of his voice memos, I introduced myself. I was like, hey man, are you a coach? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, man, same. Da da da. We connected, but it was really great to see that he was getting his steps in. That dude definitely lifts. He's jacked as hell. And also just working hard, getting his steps in. I loved it.
And great communication skills with his clients too, it sounds like.
Yeah, really. And he was doing it wasn't even, he was texting them. So he was texting them, and it wasn't actually voice memos. It looked like he was voice recording leading into a text, which I thought was interesting.
Voice to text?
Yeah, voice to text as opposed to voice note, which I actually prefer the voice note.
That's interesting. Does voice to text? Well, we've talked about this in the mentorship. There are times where a voice memo makes a lot of sense with a client. It's probably not optimal to have all of your communication via voice memo.
Correct.
Partly because it's so much harder to sift back through previous conversations and pull things, which is important in an online coaching relationship. Is the technology for voice to text pretty good these days?
Dude, I don't know. I don't use it. I mean, he wasn't just talking like we are now. He would be like, and I think you're doing amazing, and I am very proud of you, period.
Still, I'm going to play with that because I am just for day-to-day life, because I'm a horrendous texter. I fat finger
me as well.
So often. I'm always deleting. It takes me forever to write texts. I'm much better on a keyboard. So I'm gonna play with the voice to text.
Yeah. Play with it. Play with that. Play with the iron neck. But yeah, man, I think people are lifting. Dude, more people are lifting than ever, I think. I think we're at a stage I think more people are lifting now than ever in history. Ever.
Good.
It's like, because it's never been more accessible in terms of everything that people have available, in terms of the knowledge, in terms of equipment, even with minimal equipment. There's just so many programs people can follow. Yeah, I mean, I remember early on in my career, and even not early on, even as recent as probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even less. There's the fitness industry goes through cycles in which people will say lifting is bad for you.
What?
Yeah, dude. There's people who say, like, there was literally, I actually saw someone say this the other day, but it was not a well-liked comment or anything, but it was something to the effect of how strength training is actually highly detrimental to longevity. And I was like, there's a whole group of people who think that lifting weights and all you need is your body weight and you shouldn't lift any extra weight, da 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 da. But that is a small minority of people. I think more people now are lifting than ever, and they understand it. And very happily, I've also seen a huge resurgence of steps and just cardio, zone 2, just doing a little bit of that. I think that the fitness industry right now, to be honest, is the best it's ever been in terms of accessibility, availability, overall like totality of knowledge. It's, even if you look on people's pages of people who are promoting awful, stupid stuff, the comments are littered with people who are like, that's just not true. That's just not true. And so I think the amount of knowledge that people have now is better than it's literally, like, the amount of knowledge the regular lay gen population person has is better than it's ever been before. Now, if we can get obesity rates down and global health improved, that's really the next big step. But let me ask you, how do you think we do that? How do we improve?
You know what? That is how we're going to lead off the next episode.
I like that. We'll start with that.
Jordan's going to watch the movie Rounders because he hadn't, and there's a great Jewish professor, a great character in that movie who makes a great point that might actually impact someone's life who's listening. And we're going to read our book, and great episode.
Well, we're going to record the next episode right now. So we're not going to do any of that prior to the next episode, but
I am.
We are. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't joined the mentorship, really don't know what you're doing, go join that. Link in the show notes. We appreciate you listening. Please leave a 5-star review. If you have any questions, keep a lookout on our Instagram. We're going to post another Q&A, so you can ask us questions we can answer here on the pod. And have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon.
See you soon. Goodbye.